Like, yes, I said non-superwash. Yes, I said soft. Y'all, we did. I'm gonna call this a group effort. Somehow we were able to get me back on here to do a second episode, and I'm calling that a team win. Hi, welcome back. This is, I forgot my own channel name just now. Welcome back. My name is Maressa, and this is the Maressa Made podcast, where I talk to you about all things crafty, making, whatever, mostly fiber arts related, but really whatever the creativity fancies at the moment. Your girl has ADHD, so really it could be anything. Welcome back, and or welcome in if this is your first time. Actually, I really hate that saying welcome in. It's the combination of come on in and welcome together is something about it that's like nails on a chalkboard. Last time you guys gave me a super lovely welcome for my first episode. Number one, I could not be more thrilled that so many of you guys were happy to see me over here on this platform. If you follow me somewhere else, hold on girl, my eyes are watering for no reason today in old people news. And then number two, like, I'm so grateful for all the kind words that you guys left me. So you guys made me feel super motivated to get back on here and do this again. So let's get started. Let's talk whips. Last time I talked to you guys, why do I do this to myself? It's like I want the stitches to fall off. Last time I talked to you guys, I was working on my pressed flower shawl. I am still working on my pressed flower shawl. I want to show it to you guys, but now I have to transfer over all these stitches so that you can actually see it. One moment. Okay, this is my pressed flower shawl. The pressed flowers is a shawl pattern by Aimee Christoffers? Who really knows? She is at Savory Knitting on Instagram. Her patterns are lovely, and this is like a lovely squishy mosaic shawl pattern. I've seen so many beautiful ones like in progress and or like finished, and I just had to cast one on too. So I am knitting mine out of Garthenor Organics. They're a UK-based mill. I talked about this in the last episode. I'm newly obsessed with their yarns. I just find them so squishy and lovely and soft for a non-superwash. Yes, I said non-superwash. Yes, I said soft in the same sentence. I think they're incredible. Also, girl, like, can we talk about spit splicing for a second? If you've never spit spliced as a crafter of any kind in the fiber arts, spit splicing is when you take a non-superwash fiber. Let's say you run out of whatever color. Like I ran out of this blue and I attached a new ball. In order to attach a new ball, there's no knots, there's no weaving the ends, there's none of that, okay? So all you have to do is, it's called spit splicing because you could technically like put it in your mouth. Girl, it's not the most hygienic. If we've learned anything in the past 2 years, is that we should keep our bodily fluids to ourselves. But and also, you can just dip the ends in like a little cup of water. So one end in one cup of water, one end in the other cup of water. And then what I like to do is I like to kind of take the ends and fray them apart a little bit. So like kind of separate out those flies. Peekaboo. And then overlap them. This is my 3-ply and this is my 3-ply. I separate them out and then I line them up on top of each other. So there's plenty of overlap, right? When I line them up, I'm gonna take them in between my hands at the spot that I've lined them up at and rub vigorously, okay? To the point that you can almost feel like the heat in between your hands. And those fibers will start to interlock because they have more tooth. Ooh, that wind is something serious. Basically, they just become one lovely strand. Now, where your join is at, the yarn is a little more fragile, right? So like proceed carefully as you're going and knitting and or crocheting and or weaving, whatever the next few things that you're doing. But it's incredible, and I never want to weave in another end in the rest of my life. So I may or may not have to switch to all non-superwash. That probably won't happen. I think my next thing that I have to show you is superwash. I am so in love with this. What I didn't talk about last time with this project is that Preseli based from Garthenor is a fingering weight. This pattern is written for DK. So technically, at this given point, I should stop the regular chart. There's a like body of the shawl chart, and then there's another chart that is for like a border. Technically at this point I should stop. I am a lover of a huge shawl, so this is not gonna do it for me. Is it gonna stretch when I block it from here? Absolutely. But I would like much more to stretch to make it ginormous because I'm obsessive. So I'm gonna do at least one more repeat of the chart for the body of the shawl. I may or may not do two. Each repeat is like two of these rows of little flowers happening. So I want to make sure that if I do two more, it's only gonna add so much more length. So this way, width is the right word, girl, my bad. So I might have to do two repeats. So it would be 4 total rows of flowers and then the border. So we'll see. It is super freaking squishy already though. It makes me very happy, and the colors are just happiness inducing in this cold gray weather that we have outside. Your girl is a summer girl. This is not my vibe. So I definitely am already over it, and the fall has just started. Oh, I should probably go back and tell you guys what I'm wearing, no? Again, my bad. How many times can I say my bad in one episode? So let's talk about what I'm wearing while I transfer stitches back again. I am currently wearing one of my favorite sweaters ever. This is the Zweig sweater by Caitlin Hunter. It is lovely and super pilly because I wear it all the time. This is like my go-to fall sweater because it has the lace. It has the lace up here in the yoke, so it's not great for like super cold weather. You could probably get away with it if you had like a turtleneck or something underneath. Would also look really pretty if you like coordinated like the color that pops through in the lace too. I think that would be also cute. I can't remember anymore what yarn I knit this in because it was so long ago. I think that this is Madeline Tosh, I want to say. Is the body, and then I want to say that no, I really don't know. I don't know. It was an indie dyer that dyed the colorway for the yoke, and it was like a one-off skein, I think, and I no longer remember that company name because it was definitely like they had that one beautiful skein that I was like, oh, I have to have that. I love this sweater. I get compliments on it all the time, just like on a regular day, and that's before I go, oh, actually I made it. It is my most easily complimented sweater by non-makers. That's all I'm wearing, right? I took my hat off. I was wearing earlier today, I was wearing the Brackett hat, which is this really lovely cabled hat. That's Stanley, I'm sorry. Which is this really lovely cabled hat. This is knit in a now discontinued base. It's knit in Magpie Fibers domestic worsted. I love this hat. Put it on for you guys. Hold on, let me see if I can. It's just really cute. It sits really cute. I love wearing it this way and or like pulled down and folded. Either way, it's like adorable and I love it. So yeah, I may or may not knit another one of these guys for my gift knitting that I have coming up, which I'm thinking about doing a whole episode just on what I'm knitting for gifts this year. Yeah, but it's too hot inside to wear this, so one moment while I zhuzh my hair again and get it back to full volume. Dolly Parton would be proud. What else do I want to talk to you guys about? Oh, so last time, my bad, I showed you guys a super cute skein of yarn that I had picked up from Woolens and Nosh, and it's a self-striping sock yarn, and I finally cast on this weekend. I'm very excited about it. I just cast on like a really simple sock. I feel like self-striping for me, all I want is like for the yarn to do its thing. These are the stripety stripes that are happening. I did a toe-up sock, and I'm probably gonna go through the end of this like orange part, and then once it gets back to this ochre, I'll start the ribbing on the ochre. That's kind of how I like to do my socks. I like to like start and stop with a stripe in particular, so that way I know exactly when I'm starting and stopping like on the length and body of my sock to make them exact. It's just such a super easy and simple way to track where you are. I also find that I'm more motivated with the self-striping. It's like that Like some people get this way about like speckled yarn or variegated yarn. They have a particular part that they really love, or they're using something as a marker, and so it gets feeling like a little self-competition for no reason. Because leave it to Kayla to find competition where there needs be none. Today is Friday, Black Friday if you're in the US. It is the shopping bonanza day. I cast this guy on Wednesday night, so I mean that's pretty good for just a couple of days. I'm pretty pleased with that. So I'm hoping that by tonight I will have finished this up and bound off the first sock and cast on the second one, because I would like this to be like my Thanksgiving weekend socks. Thanksgiving 2022, goodbye, it's over. Only one more month for this freaking year. Then I'll be ready, because I think that I'm gonna participate in Sockmas this year. I think it's being hosted by Knitty Knatty podcast. I used to be like a very proficient sock knitter. I knit socks all the time. It was my project in my bag every day. And I don't know why, it just kind of like fell off for me. I think I just had like, I think I was getting too much into the world of like very different kinds of socks. And total honesty, for me, I'm not very motivated by lots of cables or lace or whatever texture or whatever on the sock. Like I just actually want the physical sock. For me, like sock knitting is a product-based dopamine rush. I want the product at the end. Put the socks on my feet. I just really want to finish socks now, and I don't want to make it super complicated for myself. So I'm going to participate in Sockmas, and I think I'm actually going to try to finish one pair of socks per week, like in the lead up to Christmas. I do celebrate Christmas in my household. I kind of like the idea of having a few pairs of Christmas socks that I can be like, yay, we did that. I'll probably use really simple like ribbed sock patterns and vanilla sock patterns, and I would be happy to share those with you guys if you guys are also looking for like good beginner sock knitting for yourself. And hopefully by the next time I come back, this will be a finished object. That's the aim and goal. And then the last project I have to talk to you guys about today is, this was a lingering whip that I have had for forever, and I love her so much, so I have to finish her. So this is the, oh, that's a snag, girl. One moment, let's fix that. So let's try this again. So this is the Stria cardigan, and this is by Andrea Mowry. I am knitting it out of Babyull Lanett. That's how you pronounce it. It's this guy. I really actually love this yarn. This is from Sandnes Garn, which if you've never tried their yarns, I highly recommend. They are a really like great price point, but a really lovely yarn. This is always what I recommend as like the next step if you are trying to transition away from using like mostly acrylic yarn or looking to try something that's mostly animal fiber based and not super interested in a really high indie dyed price point. I get it, girl. Like, 'tis a recession. I highly recommend Sandnes Garn. I think they're a lovely company. I love the things that they stand for, and just like the patterns and stuff that they also offer are really beautiful. I just had a whole conniption because I really wanted this one pattern book that they released this year, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and I found it in the UK. And as an American citizen, I paid an exorbitant amount of shipping because I really want this magazine because the patterns in it are so good. That's all I bought. Anyway, so back to my Stria cardigan. This is knit in Fisherman's Rib. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on over my sweater, but let's try. My yarn is in here. Let's make sure I don't take these stitches off the needle. It's a really cute cardi. I still need to go back. I have this sleeve almost done. I just need to do the ribbing here. And then I have the other sleeve needs to be done like totally. I still also need to do the button band, but I think like this is so cute and I would absolutely knit it again. Fisherman's Rib is kind of a beast because I'm super concerned all the time that I'm gonna drop stitches somewhere and then cause myself a whole issue. But I love the way Fisherman's Rib fabric feels. I love the way brioche fabric feels. It's just so squishy and comforting. The only thing you have to be cognizant of is that it grows. I have about 1,043 ends that I need to still clean up. I feel like they should just be fringe at this point. So this is going to be a little bit of work. I'm hoping that I can finish this up kind of around Christmas time because I think it would be really cute to wear this to like a holiday party, and we have a couple of those coming up. So I think it would be really cute with like that foresty green stripe happening on like a t-shirt or something in the center. I think that would be great. This is back on the needles and back in the rotation because I have so many lingering projects. I should do like a video where I shame myself on the internet so that way I can just finally finish them all up, because I start them and I leave them and it's terrible. Honestly, I'm kind of hoping that doing this podcast will get me to finish more things than I start. So that's the 3 projects that I'm working on. I'm trying not to work on more than 3 at a time right now, mostly because it stresses me out. I really don't want to work on too many so that I can actually focus and finish the things and enjoy them. This sweater was really reminding me of the fact, like, you spent all this time and energy to make something, you should really be enjoying it the way that it's meant to be enjoyed. That's my plan. I did want to talk to you guys about acquisitions. To get yarn down, one moment. Oh, girl, you're trying to die. Okay. So I didn't get all of them down, but I did get some. I have this beautiful Corrie worsted. It is lovely, and I'm very much so obsessed. This is from Aimee. Let me see if I can get it to focus. It is really freaking lovely. It is a DK weight, spun by them, milled by them. Let's see, 250 yards for 100 grams, 50% Falkland Corriedale, 30% naturally recycled fibers, and 20% Aimee recycled threads. So you're actually getting like leftover bits from her colors, which is incredible, and I love that, and I love that it feels really sustainable too. On top of the fact that the yarn is just so squishy. I am obsessed. I have 6 skeins of these guys. I'm thinking I'm going to knit maybe another Andrea Mowry pattern, the Winter's Beach, which is a very like all over cabled cardigan, right? But I also feel like it would be cool to kind of just let this guy shine. So I might just do a very, very, very simple cardigan. I have been on like a cardigan kick. I realize that everything that I have ever knitted has all been freaking pullovers. Like, I don't have any cardigans, which is so silly. I am on a mission to change that, and I'm trying to purchase strategically to change that. That's the plan right now. And then I have one more. Shit, I think I left it downstairs. Okay, I'm back. I almost failed. This is what I got this time around in my Indigenous Collective club subscription, which is with the Farmer's Daughter Fibers. Look at her beautiful tag. It's lovely. This is Farmer's Daughter Fibers, their squish bulky base, which is 100 grams for 106 yards, and this is the color Maryland, but this is only available to Indigenous Collective subscribers. What I want to do with this guy, because I think he's lovely, is I really want to knit the Hey Boo beanie. I mean, hey boo, come on, how can you not want to knit that? But that is out of super chunky yarn. So what I think I'm gonna do is, I have this other plain skein of bulky weight yarn. It's from Magpie Fibers. It's just job perks, baby. What I want to really do is marl these two together and knit the Hey Boo beanie, because that will give me more than super chunky weight yarn, and knit the Hey Boo beanie. So I'm hoping to cast that on maybe today. I just told you guys that I'm not going to do that, but it's on 15s though. It's on size 15s. I feel like I should be allowed to knit that. Y'all are like, girl, no. But we'll see, we'll see. I don't know that I can be good and not cast that on, because I feel like I could be done with that in like a couple of hours. I'm a pretty fast knitter, so you know. I also am super excited because I get to open my advent calendar next week. I have the Moon Glow yarn coat advent calendar downstairs waiting for me right now. Don't worry, I will be sharing every single thing that I get in the multiple advent calendars that I purchased. I'll be doing that over on TikTok. So if you follow me over there, you'll get to see that. If you don't follow me, what are we doing? Come and follow me over on TikTok because we laugh a lot. I was thinking about doing Tony Lipsy. She's TL Yarn Crafts on here on YouTube. I think she's TL Yarn Crafts literally everywhere. She has some really lovely, not advent calendars, advent patterns. Patterns geared towards mini skeins. So I kind of want to use one of her patterns. I haven't done Tunisian crochet like a whole bunch, but the times that I have done it, I've been really in love with the finished projects that I've gotten out of it. If you've never heard of Tunisian crochet, you should definitely go to TL Yarn Crafts channel. It's really cool, like marriage of knitting and crochet, where you're crocheting but you have one long needle and or a needle with a long cord, and you're like picking up loops and then like almost, I tell knitters it's like picking up loops and then binding off those stitches immediately, and then picking up stitches and binding them off immediately. It is very, very cool and I love it. I might do that with my minis, but other than that, I think that's all I have for you guys for project stuff. What I didn't say last time was, number one, thank you for watching, and number two, if you liked this video and you want to see more of them, please like and comment, because it helps me in the algorithm to get seen by more new people, which is so helpful when you're a little tiny account like me. I'm just trying to find my people. Just trying to find the people who want to craft that also like to giggle. So if that is you, please come over and hang out. If you watch this and you're not subscribed, please do. Okay, I think that's it. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!